Hello, all. I am Mr. J,
I'm moving.
and we are Lager Liquor Review. We actually, I got a very special one. This is actually really special to me because one of the very first true whiskeys I ever had was Crown Royal. So it's a little expensive. It's on the expensive side, but
Okay.
go ahead, set this right here. All right. So here's the box. That's the box. It's the game day edition. So it comes with this special little Crown Royal bag that has double zeros on the front, like a football jersey. Now, I do not remember what this stuff actually tastes like, so.
It's good. That's good.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open this.
Yeah,
Now,
it is expensive.
original price for Crown Royal for me for a fifth is $30. But I got this on sale today for 22 something.
This
Where's my
little box here was $10.99. It's ridiculous. Better be some good shit.
having trouble getting this open.
Oh my god.
I wish all like liquor manufacturers do this damn near the same shit. Alright, I got it. I think. There we go. It's been years since I've had this, so. That classic Crown Royal smell. Now, I don't have any. Alright, so typically I'd mix Crown with Coke. But I don't have any Cokes on me. The only thing I have down here is Diet Coke. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to taste good together. I've tried using Diet Coke as a mixer. It's a no-go.
Diet Coke is better than Coke.
Alright. And I've always loved the way Crown Royal bottles look. Like this class. I like the classic shape.
I just don't like this one. However, I do have
And actually, I actually have.
the mini version.
I don't have this specific one. Well, now I do. But I do have a lot of Crown Royal bags. They come in real handy for like different shit, like changing everything.
I'd like to get like a vanilla, which is like a book. But that's my Crown Royal bag. I use it to hold my loose change, like you said.
Yeah. Alright, so. I'm definitely getting a heavy, and I mean a very, very heavy white oak type of taste from it. It's definitely woody. Compared to most whiskeys, like we compare it to, say, Jack Daniel's Old Number 7, Crown Royal is smooth, hands down. There's no bite from it. No, like, harsh whiskey bite. Like, you've had them both as well. I can definitely tell you that Crown Royal, to me, as much as I like Jack Daniel's Old Number 7, to me, Crown Royal tastes just a hair bit better. It's not as offensive, but you also have to think they're whiskeys from two different countries. Jack Daniel's is made here in the United States, over in Lynchburg, Tennessee, while Crown Royal is a product of Canada.
Yeah, but it's also made in product of Canada. Yeah, yeah. Norwalk, Connecticut.
That's where it's imported from.
I filled that little bottle into here.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna have to look at the box. The box, if you get the box has more information on it. All right, so Crown Royal Fine Deluxe or Lux. I think that I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Is the standard excellence for Canadian whiskey. It is an exceptional blend of distinct, full-bodied Canadian whiskeys, matured to perfection in white oak barrels. A product of the Crown Royal Distilling Company, a product of Canada, imported by the Crown Royal Company in Norwalk, Connecticut. I knew the box had a little bit more information about like their importing or who imports it for them. But going back to what I said, like Crown Royal just has an overall a smoother taste. It's not as offensive. It's a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit pricey. It's $30 for a fifth, at least for me. But if you're really wanting to get into whiskeys, I'd probably say that's probably one of the best whiskeys to get into trying whiskeys for. $30 a fifth. It's a very, very nice whiskey. It's mild on its flavor. It has a distinct white oak note to it. There's not really much else I can say about it. It's an exceptional whiskey in my opinion. Comparing it to some other whiskeys that I've had. Like again, Jack Daniel's Old Number 7. It's definitely, I would say it's probably the best bang for your buck. You're going to spend a little bit more on the top end for it. But for what it's worth, it's actually worth it. Wouldn't you agree? Well, no. If you really want to compare whiskeys, you can because Jack Daniel's is fucking expensive too. Jack Daniel's, I think, for a fifth is close to the same price, maybe a little bit less. But if you want to get into a whiskey or want to get into whiskeys, I think Crown Royal is probably your best bet. So if I have to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give it about an 8. 8 to 8.5. You can't really go wrong with it. Like, it's not something I personally would drink, like, every weekend, because, again, it is a $30 bottle of whiskey. And I usually, I don't know if Motor noticed this about me, but I really don't, unless it's, like, something I can drink throughout the week, say, like, Southern Comfort, I typically don't hang on to a particular alcohol for long, because I want to move on to the next one. So, what do you think of it?
I think it's good. Food. I've had different flavors of everything. So, my favorite one was the Crown Royal Black. And I've never had the apple. I had maple.
I've had Crown Apple. I didn't care for it.
I've had Crown Royal maple.
Actually, when Dixie, speaking of Crown Royal, they now just got in Crown Royal Salted Caramel.
They got vanilla, peach.
But I noticed, I don't know, I haven't really looked at a bottle of their flavored whiskeys. But typically when you get like a flavored whiskey of some sort, it's usually at a lower proof. And I think the reason for that being is the flavors probably have water in them when it waters it down, so it's a less proof. A very good example of that would actually be Jim Beam Peach, which I think is, 32.5%? Or is it 35%? I can't remember. I had one of Jim Beam's that was 32.5%. It might have been Red Stag.
I thought it might have been peach.
Let me see. I don't have my Red Stag bottle with me. Yeah, no, it is peach. Peach is 32.5%. Which, if you really think about it, comparing it to, say, something that's 35% alcohol, that's not really much of a difference.
This is 80.
Especially, it's 80 proof, which is 40% alcohol. Which is typically what you're going to find in a budget whiskey. Usually, with the higher the proof of a whiskey, the more expensive it is. Maker's Mark, for example. I have not had Maker's Mark yet. I want to try it, but it's like $40 for a fucking fifth. But that's when you're starting to get into the higher proofs, the more refined whiskeys, is when you get into, say, like Maker's Mark or anything, something of that nature. Like even Jack Daniel's Rye is pretty expensive.
I've never had that yet.
I can get Jack Daniel's Rye, but that'll have to be for a time in its own. But no, like, this is just a little bit of a alcohol facts where typically the higher the proof, the more you're going to pay. And the reason for that being is because that whiskey went through a longer process, and it's more refined than, say, like Jack Daniel's Old Number 7, Crown Royal, Evan Williams, Jim Beam, and stuff like that.
However,
also, here's actually another fun fact for you. Whiskeys that are aged longer than 2 years typically cost more as well.
that is true. But
Do you know the marketing reason why that most whiskeys, like most budget-friendly whiskeys, are 40%? Is because they can make it at a lower proof and pump out more fucking bottles at once, instead of making it a higher proof, which means you have less. The higher the proof, the less bottles you'll actually yield from that distillation. So with a lower proof, you have more, and I could be saying this wrong. If I am, somebody please correct me in the comments. I'm open to criticism, but from what I was told, because it's a lower proof, they can actually make more bottles out of it compared to a higher proof.
hey, and I can finally say this. We're drinking Crown Royal. Drinking out my Crown Royal flag.
Although, for what we're doing, this video is getting too long. But for what we're doing, like with the smelling and everything, we're using actually the wrong kind of glass for this. Like, the glass is good for tasting. Like, these glasses are fine for tasting. But when you want to smell, you want, like, a more narrow of a glass.
My son says too. I can't really smell, but
Yeah. But, it's definitely good. It's, not as dark as some whiskeys it's not as dark as Jack Daniel's. Definitely not as dark as Jack Daniel's, but it's good. I recommend it, if you have the budget for it. I think the bottles are cool. And that's one thing I was telling my grandmother when we were walking out from Winn-Dixie. I said, Crown Royal has always presented their bottles in a very, very unique way. Yeah. Is that pint you have, is that like in the same shape, or is that in a different shape? Okay, so similar shape. Just not as big, or not as big as mine. But your neck's also, the bottle of your neck, or the neck of your bottle is also longer too, or taller.
like I said, this year was expensive as it is.
Yeah, well, I got lucky with mine because my shit was on sale here.
I just wish it would have been glass.
Mine's glass. I need to resituate this because that'd be very bad. Accidentally knock it over. Fucking just break all over the place. Oh my god. I don't cry that often, but if that happened, I would be in fucking tears. Because it's not often I get to drink Crown Royal. Because again, it's a higher priced whiskey. Not terribly high priced, but like for somebody like me and Motor,
I could probably afford it every week.
no, I don't like drinking like the same liquors over and over again because I just get really bored of them, and I want to try something new, something interesting. But anyways, like I said, an 8 to 8.5. That's my rating on it. What's your rating?
I'd say the same, but I'm one of those. Every once in a while, I'll come back to it. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been drinking the shit out of fucking Southern Comfort. You've seen that.
I love Jaeger, though.
Southern Comfort's like $15 a fucking fifth.
I think he turned me into a damn Jaeger.
Yeah. You definitely. I think what you need to do next, you need to try and figure out if you can get a small bottle of Jaeger hot ginger.
Yeah. I think we saved that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like it. I personally like it. I can drink that shit straight. So.
We'll have to do that next week, I guess.
Yeah. I guess I could do an updated review. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be alerted when we upload new videos. Anyways, I am Mr. J,
Okay.
and we are signing out.